This is a terrifying real-life survival game. 50 people are trapped inside the same sealed room. Under each person's feet there is a red circle. You must stand inside the circle without touching anyone else, or stepping out of the circle. Otherwise you will be electrocuted to death. But even if you stand still, the controller behind the scenes will still randomly kill one person after 2 minutes. And what is even stranger is that the person who is killed will be dragged away by a mysterious force. At first people did not understand why they were here. They did not even know what the rules of the game were, until several people died in a row. Someone discovered he could twist his wrist to control the arrow on the ground, then by clenching his fist select where the arrow would stop. But unexpectedly the person pointed at by the arrow. It seems that whoever the arrow selects will become the next one to be killed. After testing, everyone discovered that each arrow corresponded to a specific person, and that every person could freely control one arrow to choose. In other words, they could use this method similar to voting to decide who would die next. Although they figured out the pattern, bound by moral limits, when the new round began, no one chose to vote until another person was randomly killed. With panic filling the air, no one could predict whether they would be next, so someone hurriedly suggested that they should try voting for those who were already dead, to see if they could stop the deaths from continuing. As the new countdown was about to end, everyone quickly pointed their arrows to the spots of those already taken away. But when the countdown ended, someone was still killed instantly. Obviously, this plan did not work at all, and everyone fell into chaos because of the uncontrollable deaths. As a new round began again, everyone started worrying whether they would be next. At this moment a young man suddenly stepped forward. He said since someone had to die no matter what, why not let the elderly die first? After all, old people did not have much time left. They would die before the young sooner or later. Why not leave the hope of survival to the young? As soon as he said this, it caused a strong reaction. Some agreed immediately, but others opposed, and even began accusing him of having twisted thinking. But the young man did not care. He directly pointed to one of the old men. The selected old man said in panic that he also had the right to live, and should not be treated this way. However, when the countdown ended, he was still voted out, clearly in the face of life and death. People's first instinct is to protect themselves. After the first old man was voted to death, soon the older people were all voted out. After that, people began searching the crowd for those who looked older. At this time a woman wearing a hat, seeing everyone glance at her, quickly explained that she was only 50 and just looked older. At that moment another problem appeared. Exactly how old counts as elderly? Because most people there were middle-aged. Would it be their turn after the elderly were gone? So the young man who made the suggestion became the target. Some people started voting for him. This scene made him panic instantly. He tried to explain, but no one gave him the chance. With his death the game fell into a deadlock. No one dared to step out and make suggestions again, afraid of being targeted for saying the wrong thing. But this could not continue, because when the countdown ended someone would still die. At this time the woman in the hat suddenly said, maybe they were not chosen randomly. There must be some reason they were brought here. Why not introduce themselves and see if they could find something in common? This proposal quickly gained support. A slightly chubby woman stepped out first and gave a self-introduction, but she went into too much detail. So detailed that when the countdown came, she still had not finished, because she talked too much. Some people directly voted her out, realizing that talking nonsense could get you killed. Others did not dare say much, and briefly introduced themselves. Although they found no common point, or useful information, they realized not everyone was a stranger. For example, a couple happened to stand next to each other. After introducing himself, the man began begging everyone.
Anyway, I just wanted to ask everyone respectfully, please don't vote for my wife. You can vote for me, but please just spare my wife.
No one responded much. At this moment a police officer suddenly targeted a tattooed man. He said he knew this guy. His name was Raul, and he was a domestic abuser. The officer had handled his case before, so he believed if someone had to die, they should vote out criminals first. Although the tattooed man tried hard to explain he did not know the officer, he was still selected. With this lesson, everyone decided to find bad people and vote them out first, to increase the survival chances of good people. But who exactly was bad? A black man saw others secretly looking at him. He directly said no need to search. Why not just send all the black people away? Implying someone might be racist. Seeing his anger, someone explained it was not about racism. Many white people had already died, so he could not use racism as an excuse. Because of this topic, several people began arguing. Even another police officer stepped forward. He said in his career, the black people he saw were always lazy, and trying to get something for nothing. Just like now, creating a topic to save themselves is choosing you racism. As he grew angry, he was secretly voted out. After the officer's death, a soldier stepped stepped forward to calm things down. He said everyone should put aside prejudice. The most important thing was to figure out how to stop this, not attack each other. Since they were trapped here, they were like a team. Only by working together could they survive. His words woke everyone up. As the new countdown began, he suggested everyone vote for themselves, to create a tie and delay time. But when they tried, they found they could not vote for themselves. So when the countdown ended, another person was randomly taken away. In the new round, someone suggested they could each vote for the person to their right, one vote each forming a circle. This way they could create a tie. There was no time to waste. They acted quickly, but unexpectedly. Before the countdown ended, a pregnant woman and a man had one extra vote.
Ничья. Голосуем еще раз.
While everyone was confused, those who had not voted hurried to do so. When the countdown ended, the man was voted out. Although he died, people did not understand how they had extra votes. A young man in black explained. He saw the dead man break the rule and vote for the pregnant woman, so he voted back at him. But why would that man do that? Someone realized, maybe only one person could survive in the end. If only one could live, it would likely be the pregnant woman or the little girl, because they were vulnerable. Perhaps only by voting them out could others increase their survival chances. With this realization, a fierce debate began. Some wanted to vote them out, others wanted to protect them. Two factions formed. When the new round ended, 3 people were tied.
Kill them both! Fucking kill them!
Someone could not take it anymore, and condemned everyone's behavior. Someone asked, would no one volunteer? After that, a boy suddenly stepped forward. He said he would volunteer. Someone asked why. The boy said,
I guess I just don't want to kill anyone.
Although he volunteered to buy 2 more minutes, someone stopped him. An older black man could not bear to see him die, so he chose to take his place, and turned around without hesitation. Although he died, in the next round, people still did not plan to spare the boy. They kept persuading him to keep his promise, until the boy turned around.
Спасибо, Scott.
After his death, no one was willing to sacrifice anymore, so new targeting began. Those without children died, those without partners died, those without family died. After several rounds, only a few remained. To survive, some began attacking and framing others. For example, a man in a suit claimed he had seen the woman beside him in a show. She was an adult film actress. Obviously, he wanted to use her job to gain support, but in the end he was the one who died. Clearly, at this stage, the more aggressive you were, the easier you were eliminated. After several more rounds, only 15 remained. Some turned their focus to the little girl and the pregnant woman. If only one could remain, then one of them would die anyway. Why not vote one out early? After discussion, someone decided to lead and vote out the little girl. This created 2 sides, because some wanted to protect her. They debated fiercely. After several rounds, the girl survived, and others died instead. Even the man with glasses who led the vote was eliminated. People finally realized something. The couple who first admitted being married had been manipulating things. After constant questioning, the man admitted they were not a couple. They were secretly teaming up and stirring conflict. He blamed everything on the woman. Even so, both were eventually voted out. After more rounds, only 5 remained.
You realize that it's you or them, right?
Since the young man in black protected the pregnant woman and the girl, they had the advantage. The long-haired man did not dare target the girl. Instead, he targeted the fat silent man, because that man had never voted. He did not speak or vote, yet survived to the end. The long-haired man said vote him out first. Maybe the game would end, but he was too naive. The young man in black teamed up with the pregnant woman and the girl, and voted him out.
Wait.
Even with 4 left, the silent fat man still did nothing, maybe silently protesting, but the game did not end, so he was voted out. Now only 3 remained. The young man in black said maybe only one could live. There was no other way. One of them had to step out of the circle with him, to ensure one survivor. But who would sacrifice? He gave the choice to the pregnant woman and the girl. After brief thought, the girl made a brave decision.
I'll go.
For the baby, right?
There's no more time. Do it!
Unexpectedly, the young man in black used her kindness to eliminate both. He had been pretending from the start, until he trapped everyone. But even as the only one standing, the game did not end. As he cursed the purpose of the game, a beam of light shone on him, and another on the dead pregnant woman. The fetus inside her was still alive, but a fetus could not vote, so he made his choice without hesitation. When the scene changed, he woke up outside, but a huge spaceship filled the sky. He stood up in confusion, and saw the whole Earth covered by ships. After walking through a dark tunnel, he saw other survivors, including pregnant women and children. Perhaps the game was just an alien test, and that is the end. Although it was a low-budget film, and had plot holes, there is no doubt it showed the good and evil of human nature. Maybe only the most calculating survive, but most people, even facing death, would still follow moral boundaries. If it were you, what would you choose?